Hello everybody and welcome to another night of Century Age of Ashes. We're gonna do things a little differently this evening. I usually get a lot of questions about how I do this or how I do that, or how do people turn so quickly, how do people manage to maintain damage, etc, etc, etc. First things you should know is that with Century, especially given the developers balancing things and trying to fix certain things and then breaking others, um, the quality of the play changes and the ability to do certain things changes. But there are some evergreen things that I can hopefully help you guys this evening with, and perhaps give out a present or two over the course of the stream. But in any case, we are going to start with questions that I typically get and some free flight. Actually, let's go ahead and start with controls first. For those of you watching me on Steam, hello! I am Meepachan, and you can find me on twitch.tv/Meepachan if you want to interact with me directly through chat or to find the link to my Discord. I also answer questions there. If you also want to take part in giveaways and contests and the like, my Twitch chat is the place to be, as well as my Discord. But that is besides the point. If you have not tried this game out yet, I highly recommend you do. It's a lot of fun, but it does have kind of a learning curve. And we're going to be covering some mechanics today. So if you're not sure about the game and you want to see kind of how it works, this is probably your stream. In any case, I play on the Steam version, for those of you unaware who do know me. I play mostly Steam, and I play mouse and keyboard for the most part. I have done console controls. I have friends that do really good with console controls, but I'm not one of those, surprisingly, despite being used to playing on console controls for a good number of games. In any case, I want to start with the settings. Now, some of these settings aren't available to you guys for a number of reasons. I know Xbox does not have many advanced settings. This is on the Steam version, so I cannot speak to the Epic or the Microsoft Store version, though I think both of those have these options. Can't speak to it, though, so I'm not going to make any claims there. In any case, disregarding these are just some basic video settings that I need, but we're going to go to controls. So, hello Silver Eyes, welcome to the stream. So, as you can see, there's a couple of settings for the controller, which is, gamepad, and the mouse. I'm going to focus on the mouse settings because I don't use a gamepad, so I can't really speak to this very much. But anyways, my mouse settings, I have it set to 2.5 and 2.5 on the X and Y axis. I know some people have it set all the way to the max, and so on and so forth, but I am not one of those. I also have a mouse with adjustable DPI. For those of you unaware, it's a Corsair Scimitar, I believe. It's got a little number pad on the side. It's really handy for me. I enjoy it a lot because I do play a number of MMOs and a couple other games that require me to have numbers on speed dial. But one thing that people find really interesting about the way I play is that I use raw instead of tethered input. So raw is you move your mouse, and as soon as you stop moving your mouse, your reticle comes back to center. Tethered is you move your mouse to any direction. If you move it far enough, it'll stay in that direction, kind of like joystick input. So even if you stop moving your mouse, your tick will go to the left or the right or up or down until you move your mouse purposefully back to center. I play raw because I have trembly hands, and unfortunately these trembly hands cause me to have spasms occasionally. As far as movement goes and fine motor control. I don't have a lot of fine motor control where my hands are concerned in high stress situations, which PvP games tend to be for me. So raw works best for me. But I recommend you try between raw and tethered, see what you like. I'm going to show you guys the differences as best I can in free flight in just a moment. But in any case, here's the input settings. Now, I highly encourage you take advantage of these settings if you have a mouse with multiple buttons on it. And I'm going to tell you why. I changed, for everybody who starts out new, boost, which is also basically like your forward momentum, is W, and braking is S. I find this not ideal for me. But I played in beta when the default key binding for this was spacebar for boosting and shift for braking. That still makes the most sense for me, so that's how I have mine set. And most of the maneuvers you're going to see me do tonight, I do with this particular setup for my left hand. These are the only two buttons I use with my left hand, just as a clarification. Everything else is set on my mouse. But again, not everybody has all the buttons they need or even like any extra buttons on their mouse. So this might not work for you. But in any case, I just use space and brake for my left hand, and both of it is boosting and braking, so space and shift. When I say shift braking, just know I mean braking. I say shift braking a lot, it's a habit of mine. That would be S for you if you're using default bindings. Just remember, when I say shift braking, it's the same thing as saying S braking or just braking in general. Whatever your brake is, that's what I mean. Then you got your ability keys. Mine are set to number keys because I have a mouse with a number pad on them. And you're gonna see that in free flight, but whatever your binding is, that's what these numbers correspond to. And there's also some other miscellaneous things like pinging that I have set to number keys, and looking behind. I removed camera looking because it was driving me crazy, so I just got rid of those key bindings. And push to talk is worthless to me because I don't use the voice chat in this game. By the way, because a lot of people miss this option, if you don't want voice chat, just go down to your audio settings, just turn voice chat mode off. Just a heads up. I enjoy the game more without voice chat. Some people enjoy it with voice chat. I'm not one of those. Anyways, that's enough blabbering about game settings for me. We're gonna go into free flight so you guys can see some of this in action. And I've had a request from individuals to do certain class gameplays, so we're gonna do some of that in a minute. But first, the free flight. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to drop them in my Twitch chat. I'll answer them the best I can. Corvid Fruit says, yeah, I was watching a friend do the tutorial and realized how much the tutorial does not tell you. This is correct. The tutorial is really great for grasping basic controls. However, there's a lot that the tutorial doesn't touch on or explains poorly. Turning sharply is one of these things. And there's just a couple other nuances that you're gonna pick up as you play the game. There's a bit of a learning curve right now in the game because the player base is currently pretty small. A lot of people are also not playing because we're all like waiting for season 1, which is in a couple weeks. But that aside, the best advice I have is, despite everything I'm going to show you guys tonight, 100% playing the game is going to be the best way to do it. If you can play the game with a buddy, it's 1,000% more fun, in my opinion. But I'm gonna do my best to help you guys out and give you some tips. I may not make a lot of sense, but I consider myself at least a decent player in the game, and hopefully these tips will help you. Now, we're going to go ahead and work with Marauder because this is the one that I see a whole lot of newbies play almost all the time. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I can take a guess, but we're going to go ahead and play with Marauder. We're going to start with Frostbolts here, and we're going to go through some of the controls for a minute. So... this is your basic flying speed without any motion forward or braking, etc. And if you go down, you gain speed. If you go up, you slow down. Pretty basic stuff, momentum based. I'm holding spacebar down, but I'm not pressing it repeatedly. So I'm going forward, like actively going forward, and this is your speed essentially when you're not going up or down. and you're just holding spacebar. Now you can see where my mouse is moving. It's harder to see against the bright backdrops, but against the stone you can kind of see it. Every time I move my mouse, you see a little stick come out in the direction that I'm moving my mouse in. That's the raw input at work. So you can see which way I'm moving my mouse. As long as you see that stick, that just means I'm actively moving my mouse, because this is raw input. And the moment I stop moving my mouse, it disappears. So that's raw input. We're gonna turn on tethered input just so you guys can see that real quick and see the difference. I don't like tethered input because, again, I have twitchy hands, but we're gonna show you some of that. So immediately you can see the difference. The little stick turns into an arrow, and I'm not moving my mouse anymore, but as you can see, my dragon is continuing to turn around. A lot of people like the tethered because, again, it imitates joystick input, and it's very intuitive. Like, I have nothing against tethered in terms of how intuitive it is to use, but for me, it would just personally screw me over constantly. So, for me, most of my gameplay is in raw. We're gonna go back to that. Most of my tips are gonna be done using raw, but keep in mind, tethered has its advantages and works almost pretty much exactly the same way. Just use whatever feels great to you. Hello, Ashgro. Feel free to ask any questions you have. I really don't mind answering any of them. In any case, now that you guys have seen basic flight, we're gonna speed around a little bit. Now when you're boosting, you'll notice immediately that you can't turn as sharp as when you're flying slow. This has drawbacks, obviously. I can't, if I'm just trying to speed on through here, I can't turn quickly. Somebody's chasing me, I'm not turning quick enough to shake them, as long as I'm boosting. But if you are not boosting, you're as good as dead, in most cases. A lot of gameplay is really fast in higher tiers, so sometimes by not boosting, you end up saving yourself because everybody will overshoot you constantly. I've done it a million times. My friends have done it a million times. I've survived purely by running out of stamina, but I would not recommend I would not recommend being without stamina if you can avoid it. Now you can charge stamina over these glowing little kind of rivers within the water. And you know, they're not actually rivers, currents. That's the word I'm looking for. You can recharge stamina over these glowing currents. And I feel like it's important to mention that just because you see this recharging glow does not mean you've gained a pip. You can see that glow several times in regaining 1 pip. So don't like dive down, see the glow, and then assume you have a stamina pip. Look at the diamonds at the bottom of your screen and see how they charge, because it's not immediate. You can also gain stamina by going up these airlifts here. I also use airlifts to gain height, avoid fireballs, so on and so forth. If you're being chased by people and they're launching fireballs at you, and you come at an airlift from below, it's like a surefire way to break fireball tracking. But what I see most people struggle with in the game is sharp turns. A lot of people don't know how to wiggle good, in other words. But I'm gonna help you with that. So the game isn't great at teaching you, and I can't really speak to how a console works because there's a difference in button push length between that and keyboard, obviously. But for turning, you're gonna want to brake. And I know what you're thinking. I just told you, you don't want to go slow in this game. Why would you ever brake? Because you need to turn. If you're gonna brake tracking, if you're gonna try and break a chase, you need to be able to turn. And you need to be able to turn unpredictably, too. Sometimes, the most predictable way to go is the most predictable way the enemy's gonna chase you. But the basic of turning is this. If you're boosting, hit the brakes and turn to where you want to go. And then boost again. Brake, boost. Brake, boost. And I've heard people tell me different things, from they're pushing the braking and boosting button at the same time to they have to push it in succession and so on and so forth. I push it in succession. I don't usually hit braking and boosting at the same time, but we're gonna do little zoomies around the city so you guys can see kind of some of that in action. I'm a terrible flyer, by the way, so you're gonna see me bump into a million things, 1000%. There's a little tunnel here. Now, if you want to give yourself a little room for error, get one of these wind blessings. I'm lagging a little bit here, but you can see that my boost bar is eternal now. Well, not eternal, but it stays filled until that boost runs out. And you're taught about wind blessings in the tutorial, but a lot of people don't keep good track of them, so. They're not available in all game modes, but if they're there, there's no harm in picking one up just for the extra ability to turn around. Sometimes you need to turn around high in the air, sometimes you need to turn around low, but in general, what you should keep in mind is you should always be routing for these currents, or airlifts, or shields, anything that can support your movement in general. So, picking up the shield, turn around, turn back the other way, somebody's chasing you, turn back the other way, so on and so forth. Just keep wiggling. Wiggle everywhere. Try to thread every needle you can find. Because eventually, either you or somebody else is gonna slam into a wall and be unable to continue the chase. You go up, and up, somebody's chasing me, woo! And then you go back down. Vertical play is really good for breaking chases because that's what trips people up the most. So if you go up and then just fly upwards and then just dive back downwards, that usually messes with people a good bit. Silver Eye says, I do have a question regarding raw turning. If you move your mouse all the way to the left, will your character continue going left or go straight due to me not moving my mouse left anymore? Your character will start going straight. So you see this little stick here? To the left and the right of my main reticle? That's my mouse moving. The minute you see that little stick disappear, my mouse has stopped moving. And as you can see, my dragon will go straight at that point. If I'm going down and I stop moving, my dragon will level out and go straight again. If I go up and stop moving, my dragon will level out and go straight again. So on and so forth, especially when pressing space. But raw input essentially returns you to center the moment you stop moving your mouse. That's not to say that your dragon will immediately level out and just go like, oh, you were turning right? You're not going this direction anymore, we're going straight and level. It's gonna keep going in the direction you pointed yourself at, but it's gonna just slowly level out. Most of my gameplay is in raw format. So now we're going to go through some of the abilities. If you have any questions about movement or want me to show you something regarding movement or tips and tricks regarding movement and classes, don't be afraid to ask. In any case, this is the Drake Piercer. I've seen newbies pick up the Drake Piercer and know absolutely nothing about how to use it. And it happens because there's a number of factors in play, right? There's a lot of input, first off. You got people throwing fireballs at you, you got notifications from the game, you got a timer going off, you got reticles flying everywhere. I get it. There's a lot to take in, and it's gonna take you a hot minute to be able to process all of that, or get good at recognizing what you need to process immediately and what isn't important. But back to the Drake Piercer. The Drake Piercer is a one-shot kill. So, one of the neat things about the Drake Piercer is that you can throw it at an enemy, but you can also use it on the Berserk Wraith. And the Berserk Wraith is another thing we're going to cover because a lot of newbies don't recognize the importance of this guy either. The Berserk Wraith is to turn you Berserk, and when you are Berserk, you can shoot super awesome, explosively damaging fireballs, you got extra shields, and your Flame Breath hurts. Even your Flame Breath does more damage. The caveat to this is that Berserk usually only shows up in Carnage mode, and in Carnage mode you have bounties. And the Berserk Wraith gives you an automatic 5 bounties. So if somebody kills you, that is 5 points they add to their team's score. I'll try to see if I can get into a Carnage match so you guys can see some of this in action. But for now, just know you can also use a Drake Piercer to aim at the Berserk Wraith and just one-shot it. Alright, let me see if I can get behind this thing again. we go. And that's that. You can just spam fireballs everywhere. This is way faster than literally any dragon can shoot. And it is infinite. Your flame breath is not infinite, but it does more damage than it would do normally. And you can see on the bottom left, my shields are kind of insane. And now it's over. It lasts for a decent bit, all things considered. But just remember, just because you're berserk, you're not invincible. It's not an invincibility potion. So if a lot of people are aiming at you, you're still going to suffer through it, and you're still going to die. So use it wisely, and be aware of how your enemies feel about it. Some enemies will run away from it and give you all the openings you need to kill them all, and other enemies will turn around and fight you. I always turn around and fight the berserk player, because it's quick points in most cases. Anyways, when you don't have the Drake Piercer, you have to destroy the Berserk Wraith manually. So fireballs do that kind of damage, and then we got Frost Bolts. You can also damage it with Flame Breath. And I can Hunter's Mark it, so that I can just DPS it down. But the long and the short of it is the Berserk Wraith has health. You can only one-shot it with a Drake Piercer. Any other method, you're gonna need to work it down. And just heckin' go for it. I like to combine the Berserk Wraith with a... Here, see, I overshot him. So I was zooming and he's not zooming. But you can combine the Berserk Wraith with a Wind Blessing, so you can just freaking spam stamina everywhere and chase people down for a good solid, I think it's 15 seconds. It's nice. It's nice. It's extra nice. One thing you should keep in mind about the Drake Piercer. People know when you have it. As soon as I pick it up, just like I have that little shiny button on the bottom right telling me I have a Drake Piercer, people will see a little Drake Piercer icon over my reticle, and they'll know that I have the Drake Piercer. And I believe it blinks when you have it out, so when you're aiming it, people know that you're aiming it. So be aware that is going to paint a huge target on your back. And if you're not really sure about your skills on that front, then maybe just let somebody else grab the Drake Piercer. I typically, even if I'm in a match that's not going well for me, like I'm just getting mauled, I try to yoink the Drake Piercer because it denies them the use of it, essentially. Whether they're going to use it for this Berserk Wraith, or whether they're going to use it to spear me, picking up the Drake Piercer and then dying with it, well, they can't use it anymore. I can't use it either, but at least they don't have it. Now we're going to talk about the Marauder! So like I said, this is the class I see most newbies pick up. I can understand why. It's a tanky class. You have more room for error with it, especially if you use Gust. And he's just really cool looking. I like to play Marauder too sometimes because he just looks really, really cool. He is my least played class, but I still have played over 50 hours in Marauder. For reference, I've played over 100 hours of Windguard and 100 hours of Phantom. But Marauder's still a lot of fun to play. I have Frostbolt's Marauder. So, Frostbolts is an interesting ability. Not everybody knows the nuances about Frostbolts, so we're gonna go through some of that. Because Gust is a lot easier, but I also have some tips for Gust that might help you guys. Ashko says, I'm playing with 6.5k DPI and full sensitivity in Tethered. It definitely helps turning really fast and at a very sharp angle. As for raw input, sometimes I'd have no more space on my gigantic mousepad to turn all the way and it would end up in my death. Yeah, that's the thing about it. I'm using raw input. I don't have to turn my mouse that far. I don't think I'm using nearly that high a DPI, but it's enough for me to do whatever I need to do. But that's going back into movement, and I'm gonna talk about Marauder here. So, Frostbolts, you can see this enemy has some shields. He's got a lot of shields. But Frostbolts do additional damage to shields, and if you break the shields, then you slow down your enemy and mess up with their turning. I'm breaking the shields a little bit with a fireball, so I can show you what I mean. You see that, like, frosty halo around him and how he's kind of, like, not turning the best. He's flying really slow, so it's really hard to see. But, yeah, that's the Frostbolt's debuff. If your Frostbolts hit the person but do not break their shields, then, they're not going to be affected by the debuff. So the shields block the debuff, but if you break the shields and hit them with a Frostbolt, they have the debuff. Hunter's Mark is your main class ability. And that'll just let you spam fireballs at a decent speed, but at less damage towards your enemies. So instead of doing the regular 25 damage that fireballs do, your Hunter's Mark fireballs only do 20 damage. And there's a caveat with using Hunter's Mark. If you have somebody marked, you're not going to be able to target anybody else. So, if I have this guy marked, there, you see? I broke 3 of his shields with my Frostbolts. It's awesome. But, if you have him marked, you'll see he has a little red trail on him. And, that just means I'm tracking him. If he was flying faster, this trail would be longer, and I would be able to tell where he's going. Obviously, people fly in less of a straight line than this, so this can be helpful if you're tracking somebody a long distance. But with Hunter's Mark especially, you can only target this guy if it's active. So I've seen newbies that use Hunter's Mark, and they'll Hunter's Mark me, right? And then they'll just keep flying and try to fight everybody else and wonder why their fireballs are not connecting to everybody else. And so the important thing to note about this is if you mark somebody, you're in for the long haul with that unless you turn it off. And a lot of people don't know how to turn it off, so we're gonna go over that as well. Let's see, where'd the enemy spawn? Wasn't keeping track of him. Sad face. Where is he? There he is. Okay, let's say I don't want to track him anymore. Then I just tap my Hunter's Mark button again, and it's canceled. If you have somebody that's being a real pain in the butt to hunt down with Hunter's Mark, just cancel the mark and go after somebody else. Is it ideal? No. If you can finish them off, go for it. But in many occasions, you don't usually have the freedom to chase down somebody, or like somebody who's really good at wiggling forever and ever. So I usually cancel the mark if I can't finish them off quickly enough. Or if I know that I could chase them, but I'm not going to land anything, if that makes sense. Because that is an issue. That's Hunter's Mark in a nutshell. Gust is... you know what, I'm gonna just get the ability for that one. There's no way for me to actually show you Gust necessarily in action on free flight, but it's just easier to have a visual with this. So, Gust is both an offensive and a defensive ability. When you use Gust, essentially any fireballs that are coming at you, and they'll show up as red markers on your screen, you'll hear the, you know, the burning sound of fireballs flying towards you and see the little red tabs getting closer. Gust eats them up, and you get stamina depending on how many fireballs you eat. I believe it starts at 1 pip just for fireballs in general per Gust, and goes all the way up to 4 pips of stamina if you eat a total of 9 fireballs at once. I have no way of showing that to you outside of a match. But essentially you tap Gust, and that kind of like shiny goldenness will surround you, and those fireballs will be gone. The interesting thing about Gust is that it's kind of like a 2 to 3 second ability, in the sense that when you use it, if somebody was launching frostbolts at you at the same moment, all 3 frostbolts would be eaten. Fire breath would be disengaged, so if somebody was behind you, you know, toasting your buns, they wouldn't be able to target you anymore for like a couple seconds. It's a little ridiculous. But it's really helpful to survive a little longer. And if you're just starting out in the game and that's what you need, then go for it. Learn how to play it. But the way I mentioned it was an offensive ability, and the way I just described it is very defensive. When you're chasing somebody, usually they have teammates. And those teammates are not going to like you chasing their buddy. And you could be real focused on trying to take this guy down. Like, oh my goodness, I'm right behind this guy. I have him marked. And so on and so forth. But they're going to be behind you, and they're going to be shooting their own fireballs at you to stop you from killing their friend. So when you're chasing somebody and you know you can kill them, and you're into the hunt, you're focused on your chase, and people are firing behind you, you can just use that gust to keep fighting this enemy, and then when you're done, turn around and go in a different direction. Because once you kill the enemy, and you're gonna see it here in just a second, once you kill the enemy, your abilities recharge. Because that's your passive. Marauder passive recharges as an enemy kill. So if you have the opportunity to finish a fight, I'd just 100% go for it. Because you're gonna get your abilities back, and you're gonna be able to use that gust immediately. You can see I have both charges of my gust back, and my hunter's mark back, from just killing the enemy. So remember that, and be strategic about it. Sometimes you just need gust to get away, and other times you just need gust to finish a kill. How that changes will be dependent on you and what kind of match you're having. Anyways, we're gonna go into a different class. I have had questions concerning Phantom. Namely, how to survive in a Phantom. Because Phantom used to be ridiculously overpowered, and now he's been balanced in a pretty interesting way that allows for more strategic play. I like Phantom. Now, I didn't enjoy him as much before because it was too easy to play. We're gonna do Blast. Because I don't like mines. To do mines, I'd have to be like in a match for you guys because I'm not great with them. But basically, the way that Phantom changed with the nerf is that instead of invis being cancelled by any incoming damage, whether that be me slamming into a wall or running into some smoke or somebody's mines, invis can now only be cancelled by blast or death, obviously. And certain sources of blast that happen throughout different game modes as well. But it can't be cancelled by smoke or damage or me running into a wall anymore. And some people think that's a little ridiculous, but here's the counter. When I'm invisible, you see that little eye marker? That's whether the enemy can see me. You can see it glow red when I'm in visible range of the enemy. And as you briefly saw there, I have to get really close for the enemy to be able to see me. That little eye mark is to let you know, as a player who is a Phantom, if you're close enough for an enemy to be able to track you and shoot at you. If that eye is red and it's blinking, that lets you know a person can see you somewhere. Now, it's gonna happen whether I'm flying towards the enemy or away from the enemy, if I'm behind the enemy or in front of him. It just means that I'm close enough for that enemy to turn and see me. It does not mean that the enemy has an active target lock on me. That's a different symbol that I'm gonna talk about when we do a couple matches. But, essentially, when I'm visible, I'm gonna show you again. You can see it's red and it's glowing. It's letting me know, oh, this guy can see you. This guy can see you. He's behind you. But if I'm away, he can no longer see me. The symbol stops blinking. And that's how invis works now. You have to be strategic with it. It's no longer you go invis and no matter how close somebody is, they can't do anything to you. Because that used to be one of the issues before. You could see the Phantom. You could 100% see him. But if you didn't have blast or smoke, and even if you had smoke, you weren't going to be able to really do anything about him. And typically only Phantoms could really counter Phantoms and some blast wind guards at the expense of their own defense. But when you go invis, this is important. Don't go invis and then just fly straight. They're gonna know you're flying straight. They're gonna see it. They're gonna know you're going, oh, this dude thinks he's just invincible because he's flying straight and he's invisible. No, they get close enough to you, they will toast your buns. So what I like to do is I go invis, and then I switch directions, fly up, go into an airlift, fly in a different direction, so on and so forth. Some people know to chase as far as the airlift. But typically in my experience, in about 80 to 90% of cases, if you invis going into an airlift and go up, they're not going to know you're there. Or, you know, switch in any other random direction. Don't try to route the moment you go invis and go up an airlift. Because people are going to know, oh, they're probably going to try to go for shields. They're probably going to try to go for this route. Don't do that. Just be random with it. right? So we're gonna show you real quick. So if I go invis here, up, and we're gonna go up here randomly, and then we're gonna go down here, and usually that'll be enough to shake just about anybody. I don't mean in that specific direction, like up and then down, but like, you know, left and then suddenly going right or down, at nowhere in particular, a place that has no meaning. Whereas I can tell if a phantom went invis in front of me going this way, I can tell they're gonna probably go for this shield, and I can blast them out of there. I can't show you the opposite end of blast because I need an enemy to do that, but essentially people can see your blast. So the closer you do the blast to the enemy, like the sooner you explode it, in other words, the more likely you are to catch them by surprise, and they'll be unable to break and decrease the blast effect. Now, if you're being blasted, somebody yeets a blast at you, right? You're gonna see a red orb kind of fly towards you. That's its area of effect. And if you break while you're within its area of effect, you have a chance to block it and decrease its effect by 66%. So there's kind of a science to it. When you throw a blast halfway across the screen, like this, I can see where that's going. I can see that coming in my direction. I can prepare for it. So that's why I say try to have your blast as close to the enemy as possible. If you see a phantom go invis right in front of you and you're a blast phantom, just blast them out of it. It's hilarious. It's great. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. But there is a case used for blasting from a distance as well, especially in gates. Now, blast is another ability that gets a lot of people because especially newer players do not know that they can detonate blast early. I can detonate it in front of myself if I wanted to. But to detonate blast early, you just gotta tap the ability key again. So once you tap the key for blast, just tap it again to make it explode. And another thing, if you're aiming at an enemy and you're not sure if your blast is within the radius, and I can understand because sometimes distance is a little hard to tell with this game, especially with the way they handle reticles. But if you're not sure, look for the little crescent around their shape. I'm going to show you what it looks like. You're going to see it very briefly, so pay attention. You saw that colored crescent? It turned orange and then white and then red. That is an indicator to let you know that the enemy is within the blast range. You can look for the circle of your blast, but up close it's kind of hard to see. So when you're not sure, look for that crescent appearing by the enemy. The minute you see it, I would use the blast. Now the color of the crescent indicates how close they are to the center of that blast. If it's white, they are pretty much dead center of that blast, and they're going to get hit the hardest. If it's red, they're at the edge of the blast, and they're not going to get hit as hard. So that's how that works. Remember, you just tap the key twice to detonate it early. Now, Phantom has a different passive than Marauder. It's called the Shield Breaker passive. And it does additional damage to shields. And that's with any of the Phantom's attacks. So, fireballs. And Fire Breath does shield damage. He's not going to pick up any shields, so we're just going to kill him. So we can reset him. But anything the Phantom does, from Flame Breath to Fireballs to Blast to Shroud Fireballs, any damage the Phantom does additional damage to shields. I believe to an additional 35% damage, which is pretty crazy. So you can see there, I broke his shields really easily. We're gonna kill him again because I need him. Actually, no, we're not gonna kill him. Phantom Fireball, Cloak Fireball, is when you shoot a sneak attack out of your cloak. And it takes a little bit of practice to time this, but it does additional damage to the player. If you can land it successfully, you're gonna do a lot of heavy damage. It's not as visible on the Marauder because Marauders have 125 health. But it still does a good chunk of damage, and I typically use it to finish off my enemies. The other nice thing about the Shroud Fireball is that with the Shield Breaker passive, you can do a lot of damage to an enemy shield. So, and let me know if I'm going too fast for you guys. I talk very quickly. But, basically, you see that? I took 2 of his shields. Typically you can only pick up 2 shields, so in normal circumstances, because he's blocked by 4 shields, that would take out the enemy shield entirely, and you can feel free to just friggin' go to town on him, essentially. So on and so forth. And yeah. The Phantom can be friggin' deadly if you use him correctly. But that's the key to it all. You have to use him strategically. He's not meant to be somebody that's out in the front lines constantly fighting everybody face to face. He only has 75 health, and he's got some of the most powerful abilities in the game as far as utility goes. Invisibility, and then blast and mine for additional trap usage and disorientation. He's a really cool class to play. Just remember, you gotta play him smart, right? So, I'm gonna show you some class gameplay when we go into Skirmish in a minute here. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Windguard. If you guys want to see some Mind Phantom, I guess I can oblige for that as well. So let me know. But there's not a whole lot to go over with that specific strategy, in my opinion. Windguard. We're gonna do smoke, because you guys already saw what blast can do. Blast functions the same on a Windguard that it does on a Phantom. The only difference is that Phantom is of course gonna do more damage to shields because of his shield breaker passive. Now Windguard has a different passive than both Marauder and Phantom. She has Skeldian Resolve. And what Skeldian Resolve does is that it decreases the time on debuffs and decreases the effect of moves like blasts and frostbolts on her character. Status effects, essentially. Any negative status effects are going to last less time on the Windguard than any other class. She is a support class, so she doesn't do the most damage. Where Marauder does, Marauder has Frostbolts to help him out, Hunter's Mark to help him out, Gust even to help him out to keep up the DPS. Windguard doesn't have any sort of active DPS move in the sense that she can just target it and go after an enemy with it. Instead, she has 2 support moves that are meant to disorient the enemy while dealing damage. One of them is Smoke, the other one is Blast. I already showed you guys what Blast does. It is a disorienting move that moves the enemy aside, can slow them down, and generally damage them, get them stuck. Smoke is a sort of what I call a passive attack skill, in the sense that I can't really aim it at somebody. I can't go to an enemy and like yeet my smoke at him. I can only leave a trail. It's a sort of crowd control skill. So I'm gonna use it right now. And you can see this trail of smoke here. The neat thing about smoke is that if you fly in it, you can disengage your enemies. If your enemies fly into the smoke with you, for the most part, they're going to be unable to target you. It's going to be harder for them to aim at you. They're also going to be having a hard time seeing because it obscures their line of sight, and it causes damage over time, even when they leave the smoke cloud. The damage over time lasts a varying amount. I can't really tell how long it lasts. I would say 2 to 3 seconds, mostly because I've had damage over time last longer than it should, and I've also had damage over time last shorter times than it should because of lag. So I'm gonna just go with 2 to 3 seconds beyond the cloud's edges. And you know, that can be all that it takes to finish an enemy if they're desperate and trying to run away from it. But if you're trying to keep somebody out of an area, for example, Phantoms like to mine up this tunnel a lot and drag people in there, I can mess with them a little bit and fly through here, leave my smoke, and it'll last a few seconds. And the whole time it's there, it's going to be a damaging cloud. And nobody wants to take damage all the time. There is moments in time when it's useful to fly through enemy smoke. Sometimes you're running from an enemy and you don't have time to worry about smoke. You might need to get through that smoke to get to something that'll help save your life. So make your choices based on what you need in the match, like everything else. But be aware of how your smoke affects things. It's a nice disengage, but it's not gonna protect you from everything. If somebody's really close, like chasing really close, and they're already flame breathing you and shooting fireballs at you, and you decide to pop that smoke right then and there, it's not going to help you much if you keep going in a straight line. There's also something to be said about Marauder's Gust, which clears enemy smoke. So if you have a Marauder chasing you and you start smoking it out, and he has Gust, he can just eat it and kill you anyways. So be aware of that. What I like to do is if an enemy's chasing me and I've got smoke, I'll pop it and turn around, fly right back through it, and then turn around and fly right back through it again. It usually breaks the tracking enough for me to, you know, get stamina and then get away. Or break off to a different direction or get to some friends or whatever. So just, you know, like anything else, don't just fly straight. Don't fly straight. If you go Invis and Phantom, don't fly straight. If you use your Gust and Marauder because you have a million fireballs flying your way, don't fly straight. A million more will come. If you're running away as a Wind Guard and you have to pop your smoke to get away, don't fly straight. You gotta wiggle, 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 wiggle. Now, the other ability and the main class ability that a Wind Guard has is Salvation Surge. And Salvation Surge lets you target an ally and deliver a shield to them, as well as healing. So we're gonna show you how this works in a minute, but we're gonna go far away so you guys can see. You don't have to be really close to your ally to use Salvation Surge, but it is recommended that you are. Not super close, because you can miss it that way too, but close enough that as few things as possible are going to get between you and that ally. The reason being is because Salvation Surge is a little buggy, and it's really good, don't get me wrong, but when somebody flies like in front of an airlift, for example, and they fly up really subtly because the airlift just throws you up, and you were yeeting towards them at all speed with the Salvation Surge, in most cases, that'll break it. That'll break your track, and your Salvation Surge will go on a brief cooldown, and you'll have to wait for the cooldown to come off so you can try to Salvation Surge towards them again. So try not to Salvation Surge if your ally is going into an airlift, or if you see them going behind a lot of obstacles. I like to fly around this close and then kind of just fly on over. You can also use Salvation Surge as an escape. If you're in a rough spot and you see a friend across the map, your Salvation Surge is faster than any dragon can fly, even when boosting. So you can just use that to get away from an enemy from across the map. And yeah, there's you know, strategery. There's a lot of ways you can use a Wind Guard. But the sad thing is that outside of, you know, laying crowd control and using blast, they don't have a lot of DPS when compared to the other classes. The closest it can get to is probably Marauder without using Hunter's Mark. I'm going to show you here. You have to depend a lot more on your Flame Breath and your Fireballs to do damage. Now the nice thing about Salvation Surge is that when you use it, your fireball recharge increases. So you can shoot a little faster as long as you're under the effects of Salvation Surge. But it's not much, and Salvation Surge doesn't last that long. So it's, you know, again, its use changes depending on what you're doing in the match. And if your shields get broken, your Salvation Surge shields, by the way, not your main shields, then your Salvation Surge is off. It's no longer there. That's another thing you gotta keep in mind. If somebody Salvation Surge to you, and you're not gaining health, it's typically because your Wind Guard shields will have been broken. If your Wind Guard shields break, then you're not gonna gain health anymore. So you can see on the bottom left that I got a blue shield marker. It says I got 50 shields. That is Salvation Surge shields. They're dark blue in color, and they are temporary. It's important to note that they are temporary. They do not stay there. They are not going to heal you forever. They're not going to protect you forever. After a while, they're going to break off, and depending on if you have regular shields or not, it's going to sound and look like your shield's breaking because you don't have shields anymore. So keep an eye on that. Be aware of that. If somebody gave you Wind Guard shields and you don't have regular shields, try to route for a regular shield. Always try to have at least regular shields on. because that's going to protect your health. It's harder to recover your health than it is to just recover a shield. Health is gone forever unless you're a wind guard, and shields are not, because you can typically get a shield buff from around the map. In any case, if you've got any questions, do not be afraid to drop them by, but we are going to go into some skirmish. So you can see some of these movements in action. Keep in mind, even if you practice some of these tips, it does not mean that you're automatically going to be amazing and killing everybody and winning all your matches and whatever. A lot of Sentry, as I mentioned, the best way to learn Sentry is through playing it. Getting used to the inputs you're going to see. Taking on a variety of enemies. Whether they're tougher than you, or weaker than you, or what have you. Practicing on the maps. Getting used to abilities and being able to take in what's going on at the screen. It's going to take you time. And it's going to take you practice. Don't get frustrated with yourself if you just can't get it in the first try. It's okay. It's gonna take... I wasn't, you know, killing everybody when I first started Sentry. I played this game a lot. I think I have like 600 hours on it. It's a lot of fun to me, but I did take a lot of practice to get to where I'm at. And I'm not even, you know, the best player out there. There are players better than me, with different skills and different strategies, and I'm sure their own way of playing the game. But I hope that I've covered a lot of the nuances that apply kind of in a wide range for you guys. So with enough flying around here, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get into a skirmish. I highly recommend, if you're just starting out in this game, that you play rookie mode until you're level 5. Mostly, and hear me out on this because a lot of players don't do this. They skip the tutorial and then they play their first rookie match and then they're like, I want to do quick play. Play rookie. Take advantage of rookie. It's less XP, sure, but you're gonna, it's locked to people levels 1 through 5. And yes, you can encounter a Smurf account here or there, I'm sure. I'm positive. But for the most part, it's newbies. It's new players, just like you, that are getting used to the controls of the game. They're not going to be shooting around you and decimating you just for existing. Which is nice, because that's exactly how you're going to have the room to breathe and grow. So I recommend playing rookie mode until you're level 5 and it essentially kicks you out. And then after that, you're going to have access to Arena, which can change depending on what the day is. Today is Skirmish, which is great because it's actually, Skirmish is one of the best ways to learn how to play the game. Alright, so I don't know any of these people, but we're gonna run Marauder first. Actually, no, I'm gonna run Phantom because that's what I hear some complaints about the most. And we're gonna run Mine, and I suck at Mine Phantom. So if I can pull this off, you guys can pull this off. Yeah, these guys are just starting out. By the way, we're going to be having a giveaway shortly here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and asking questions and bringing up your experiences. I like hearing about them and talking about them. And I really hope that I've provided or am providing some general help. Oh, looks like I got some buddies here that want to join me for Skirmish. Give me a second here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, I'm muted. Genius
Hello.
move me. Hello. I am currently in a match, but...
Snipe
Oh, somebody picked up a shield around here. Oh, I heard that phantom fireball. Come here, you. Oh, he is... There he is. Oh, circling. Circling!
Skirmish too.
Uh-oh. You know what that means.
Wait, is that him? Oh no. I thought he was playing against you.
No. Meh.
Yes, no. Almost slept through this stream. Well, I'm glad my voice was so soothing.
What the hell?
And I will be posting this on YouTube later, so if you missed some of it, don't worry. You can check it out later. You can see some of that smoke disengage in action. And I need some stam. I'm out of stam.
Some of our babies left.
What?
Oh, we're
You
not
got
spoiled.
intimidated.
And now he's raging. Rage is another mechanic in the game that I can't really showcase outside of or in free play. But essentially, it's if you're taking enough damage, you get a special ability dependent on your class that lets you fight back. Essentially.
How many phantoms?
Rip.
Woo.
I think I'm gonna go Marauder, maybe.
No mortar.
Dead.
No.
No. I have died.
Bruh.
How dare. My babies are getting murdered.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Not the children.
Oh, dude, you should have
Not
saved
the
this.
babies. Oh, bruh. I'm gonna just took all my money. How dare you? Hate you. You're stealing my money.
Ah, didn't make
I see
it.
a little phantom.
Woo!
Oh, I knew you were a weirdo. Come here. Give me all your money, sir!
Don't mind them, they're playing a spoils match. Thank you for
Come here! Give me all your money! Yes! Sorry.
I don't mind the insanity.
I'm retarded. This green guard is getting all up in my business, and I literally don't appreciate it.
Oh, I got my
Ooh,
rage
here.
so you guys can see it here in a minute.
Oh, I need to go get that.
Oh, you're a Gus Marauder.
Got it! Just do all my booty cheeks that I don't appreciate.
Whee!
Da na 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 na. Do do do. Da na 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 na. Ba na 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 na.
You good, mister?
Yeah, I'm just dodging people left and right. I'm getting better at wiggling. Then got this one dude chasing me. Woo! That was fun!
They are not happy with me killing them.
Oh, they're not happy with me having this much money. Oh shoot, I need the bomb. Oh no! Where I got that money in. Now I'm going for bomb. Gotta dive down. Uh-oh. Lunar Dragon! I can't have you holding the bomb. Ow.
There we go. Just muting that for the moment. Because I realize that can be kind of confusing. I apologize. We'll get them in after this match. Berserk Slayer? Can't have that. I'm out of stam! Ah! Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Sir.
Yeah, we won! Hi, Luna! Hello! You came for some snugs? Came for some snugs? Yeah! Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. You're a good puppy. Yes, you are.
That's a lot of kills. Jeez. 20 kills. Alright, I got a new set of missions and everything. Oh boy! Missions! Money! But that was some Phantom play for you guys, so you guys could see some of that in action. It wasn't a bad match overall to show some of that, which was nice. But let me go ahead and get Mithria and Ashcrow in here.
Been chasing me for ages. Oh, that was nowhere near that bomb, and it took my shield. I don't appreciate it.
Are you guys still in that match?
Yeah, we're on round 2.
Okay. How long is it into it?
We have 2 minutes left.
Okay, then I'll just wait. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and set up this giveaway. If you guys want your chance to win, I'm gonna let you know the key phrase you need to use in just a second. But just an FYI, it is only for active viewers. If you are not here and you are not participating in the chat, or I mean, you don't have to be actively participating. But if you're not here within 30 seconds of your name being drawn, essentially I'm gonna redraw it. So if you want a chance to get this giveaway, feel free to enter the code that I am going to announce in just a second here. Ba-ba-da-ba. Well, they updated this. There we go.
Oh my gosh, you're friends with Ski Boys, Meepa?
Huh?
You're friends with Ski Boys?
I have no idea who Ski Boys is.
On your friends list in the game.
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
I haven't seen that guy in ages.
Well, it says he was last online 3 months ago. So,
Fair.
makes sense. Alright, let's see.
Oop, I bonked. Yeesh, they see me and instantly they want to go for a chase.
Alright. So if you want to enter the giveaway, type in hashtag Prelude. In chat, that is Prelude. Prelude. Hashtag Prelude. And you'll be entered to be a part of that giveaway. Yum yum. It is for a Lone Roar pack, by the way. I forgot to mention that. It is for a Lone Roar pack that is an $80 value DLC pack that is not available for purchase anywhere else. That'll net you 3 legendary dragons, 3 helmets, 3 shields, I believe, or weapons. I don't remember. Banners, exclusive titles, the whole works. It is extra nice, plus a healthy 3,000 gems for you to spend in a shop on an item of your choosing. So that is hashtag Prelude to enter the giveaway, and we're gonna draw towards the end of the stream. So be sure to pay attention because we are not that far out from it.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness. No wonder they were so aggro.
Wait, you actually died?
Yeah, because I was
Actually
trying to get the bomb.
Oh my god.
Get out of here, Ashcrow. Just get out.
Stinky.
You're stinky. How about them apples?
While we're waiting, I guess I can show you guys some of that customization. So
Why can't I invite you, Meepa?
I'm trying to invite you guys.
Why can't I invite you?
I win.
I don't even have to. Okay, there we go.
I did it first. I win.
No, I
Yeah.
did it first.
No, I did it. I did it.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Mhm.
no.
I'm gonna change up my Marauder here. No, you come to my squad.
No, you come to my squad.
We're doing skirmish. I must lead.
Okay. Fine.
I got invited by Meepa. Okay.
Alright.
I am
already lost
BB
my
now.
train of thought. You're a BB now.
I am BB now.
I'm gonna change my Marauder's armor because I can. How about them apples?
Okay, fine.
We're gonna do Marauder gameplay next, so you guys can see this guy in action. I love the Razor Tooth armor. It's my favorite armor. It's the best armor for Marauder, hands down. Fight me on it. I will win.
I'll fight you.
Fight me, I will win. I will quote you on that.
But if you want to enter the giveaway, which there's very few people in the giveaway right now, hashtag Prelude, that's Prelude, in the chat. Hi Luna! You want some snuggles? You want some snuggles? Every entry into the giveaway is an extra snuggle for Luna. Come here, you getting pet? You're getting pets!
My puppets. Where are my babies? Puppies? Oh,
Hey.
they're my babies. They're my babies. Hello. Would you like to say hello, Mr. Bean? Hmm? Do I say hello? No? Don't feel like saying hello? Don't feel like saying hello? He's quiet.
He doesn't feel like giving in a woo.
No
No
doesn't
awoos
feel like
tonight.
saying no awoos.
I had a question. What does the shop look like? This is the shop. There is a PAX Popular, which is a more quickly rotating selection of items that I guess either sell well or just to add an extra rotation into the week. And Featured, which is the main shop section that rotates weekly. This will be changing / going away / being updated ? For season 1. So I guess don't get too used to it, but as you can see, I have collected a considerable amount of items from this store, so I can't really show you prices because I have just about everything that's out here right now. 'Cause I love
Unfortunately,
this.
I do not, so I can
Oh,
help
here we
with
go.
that.
There's
Okay,
Odris. He is for 2,000 gems. So just for reference, the Lone Roar pack gives you 3,000 gems. This is a legendary full-grown dragon that you can use immediately. You don't have to hatch him and grow him for 2,000 gems. So you can get an Odris and a half with those gems.
But you only get 3,000 out of that pack? I thought it was like 4,000.
No, it's 3,000.
Bruh. That's some baloney.
I too wish I could be gifted infinite gems. But alas, it was not to be.
Sad.
Sad face.
Big sad.
Come on, matchmaking. Come on.
I really wish that some of these bundles would sell things separately.
I hope that someday they shall.
I want Cardinal Zenith without spending the approximate amount of buying a whole new legendary dragon.
Wait, you know what? I'm gonna run Windguard this round because I think we're starting one short on the enemy.
Okay,
That'll be
I'll be Marauder.
less mean of me.
I'll just be gentle this time.
I'm a bull chaser. I am not gentle.
By the way, Mitra, look how that new shield looks. Triangle one.
I honestly really like that shield, but at the same time, I don't want to spend that many gems for it.
Yeah. I like it too, but I'm like, gems.
The gems.
No.
So overpriced. Good God. Please, let me buy the shield for coinage, please. It's just a shield. It doesn't need to be a quarter of the amount of getting a bundle. Hurry!
I think the matchmaker's trying to give him a third player.
I hope they do.
Poor little babies. You know
I like
what?
how my dragon shines in the rain.
Yeah, they got a player. They got Spectre.
Oh, I wonder who that is. Who is there?
I don't know. They got a crown though.
They do have.
It's a dead
Oh,
guy.
never mind.
Oh my
He
god, I
left?
got disconnected.
Did he leave? I thought he left.
No,
No,
I,
he
No,
didn't.
he's
Never
still
mind.
there. Oh, they're all Gus Marauders.
I got a game violation. Oh my
Oh,
god.
look how. Oh my god.
Why?
Now they're gonna be intimidated.
punished.
Congratulations, Ascaro. You scared the babies.
What do you mean I got disconnected?
Got it. Oh, did we lose Ashcraft?
Oh, and I got
Oh my
even
god,
got
yeah, he
featured.
did get disconnected. Oh no.
Oh no.
Christ.
I wanted to screenshot that. God damn it. Why? Why?
Oh, I got
Coming.
Mark. Oh god, Mark, come back here, Spectre. Where are you?
They're hurting.
Oh
This is
my
sad
goodness, I am getting murdered. Mithria! Ah.
One's dead. There you go.
An eye for an
No,
eye.
he still died! No! No, I tried so hard.
And got so far.
But in the end, it didn't
doesn't
even matter.
matter.
He ate my frost bolts. How dare you? Don't eat my frost bolts.
I got one.
He's going up the air vent. I command thee to stop. I command thee to stop. Bro. Okay. I'm gonna murder this dude. This dude's annoying me. Come here, Spectre! Uh-oh. Christ. Ah, you got Spectre for me.
I did get Spectre.
That dude was just freaking camping the air vents, and that was annoying the heck out of me. Get out of here, Forky!
Oh, I got murdered right at the end.
No! How about you get out of my life, Spectre? Here!
You good, Mithra? You good?
Spectre's annoying me.
I wonder why my Twitch stream looks so much smoother than my actual game. What is going on here?
For me, it looks like doo-doo.
You want to murder?
I want to murder.
I'm so sad.
No. Oh yeah, come here, Four Hughes. I see Spectre. You are my target, Spectre. Who's next?
I think he killed them all.
Where's
Oh,
the
no.
third one? Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Oh, he hit me. He fucking hit me. I'm repeatedly being slapped. Thank you. I'm repeatedly being slapped. No! I don't like being repeatedly slapped. Come here, stupid stereo. You're making me angry. Ah! All of them are raging. I don't appreciate it.
When in doubt, rage.
When you're rage. No! Stop dodging my hunter's mark! Owie! Alright. I'm getting tired of y'all.
I'm coming, Mithra!
Thank you! Getting real sick and tired of these guys. Stop doing your little circling-ness, Spectre! I will kill you! Yeah! Come at the very end.
And by the way, Skirmish and Rookie both are best 3 out of 5. Or wait, was it like best 2 out of 3 for Rookie? I think for Rookie
No,
it's best 2 out of
it's
3.
3 out of 5.
Oh, is it 3 out of 5? Okay.
Yeah. Skirmish and Rookie are basically so Skirmish is filled with
Come here!
equal levels.
I'm gonna munch you!
Ah! Spectre, no!
Woo.
I'm gonna do your attack.
If you guys just saw
I'm
him
gonna be
zigzag
annoying.
across the screen, that's lag, by the way. A lot of people think that's like either a legitimate technique or cheating. It's just lag.
Unless they're lag switching. And
Well,
that is,
yes, but that's
the
hard
case,
to
then
prove.
yeah.
But it's just lag. You can't zigzag like that. Just as a reference, guys. You cannot zigzag like that in normal gameplay. He's just lagging
I'm
across
being the
my
most
screen.
annoying person in the world. I got them all chasing me, and I'm just
I'm
up
chasing
down on the
Stereo.
airplane. I'm being the most annoying Marauder in the freaking world.
Can't touch this thing.
Ow!
Teeny.
Stereo!
Teeny.
How about you go away? No! No! Great, Stereo. If I see you, you're dead.
Ooh, I'm probably about to join you. Ooh.
In this case, I do see Stereo, so he's dying. Got Stereo! I see Spectre! Ow! He slapped me.
Where you at?
Thank you. Oh, you disgusting Marauder. Oh, what? Overtime?
Yeah, we're tied.
I haven't been in overtime. Oh no!
It's okay, I got him.
That was close.
No, you did not not miss the giveaway, Vio. It's still going on. Just type in hashtag prelude in the chat. PRELUDE. That was actually a pretty good match, not gonna lie.
A 2v3. Beautiful. Except Spectre I didn't like. He was circling me at the end and I didn't appreciate.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Talking to the stream, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
It's hashtag prelude. PRELUDE. Now we're gonna do one more skirmish, so I can show you guys some Marauder gameplay to round it all out. And don't worry, this video will be available. Hashtag prelude. Hashtag. You know, pound sign. You can do this, Vio. I know you can. There you go. This video will be available
Love you,
for you
Vio.
guys on YouTube later. So if you missed some of the tips and tricks, don't worry. We're gonna draw the winner after this next skirmish match, so remember, if you're not here within 30 seconds of your name being drawn, it is being redrawn. So keep an eye out.
What skins, Ashgrove? What skins? You mean one?
One out of 7 chances. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we only have 7 entries, so if you are feeling lucky tonight, this is definitely your giveaway.
What do you mean? I already won. I'm from the future.
No, I already won. I came from the future. I'm just kidding. My luck with giveaways is like complete garbage.
Nitria, please respect your elders.
I remember my luck with giveaways is strange. I will win some of the coolest stuff, but never the stuff I need. So, like, it's usually the stuff that I enter, like, as a YOLO move, right? So, one of the craziest things I ever won was I went to my college orientation. This was when I was starting college in 2013, I want to say. And I went to my college orientation, and what was happening was basically you would be entered to win an assortment of items. Like, they had all sorts of different items, from like a tablet to paid textbooks and stuff like that. But essentially you had to go through all these desks and learn about the different facilities in the college and the classes and the schools and all that. And I did do all that, and I turned in my little quote-unquote passport, is what they called it. And I left because I didn't expect to win anything. I had my fill of free food, and I went home to get ready for my first classes. Well, they called me the next day, and they confirmed it was me. And then they're like, well, you won the Google tablet. And I was like, is this a joke? And because, you know, it's like, who's gonna call you? You get a call and somebody's like, you won this. Immediately I'm just like, I don't trust it. I don't know who you are. This ain't real. But thankfully it was real, and I used that Google tablet for a couple of years, actually. I'm pretty sure I still have it packed in some of my things, but it kind of degraded and broke over time. And Google stopped selling them after a while, I imagine because they weren't that great a tablet. I enjoyed it, but they weren't really that awesome. And that's that. But it was like one of the coolest things I've ever won. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. I only yes, no says. I only want YOLO stuff as well, and that is probably like once or twice. You gotta try until you get it, right? That's exactly correct. You miss all the shots you don't take. So, like, these days, I think like once every other paycheck, I'll go out and I'll buy a couple of cheap scratch offs. Because you never know. You never know. Always play those kinds of things responsibly, by the way. But besides the point, it's like, I could spend $2 on a scratch off, and maybe one day I'll win like the friggin' $10,000 prize or whatever. You never know. You never know. But so if it doesn't cost you anything to enter, why not? Well, let's do some Marauder play.
You're gonna be the wind guard, Ash Crow.
I'm actually gonna do
Good
Gus
luck.
Marauder, so you guys can see kind of how that works. Because I showed you guys how Frostbolts work in Free Flight, and it's very easy to see. But Gus needs 2 parties to tango.
Map me, babies.
It's a little baby. Let's
Baby,
go.
come here.
Yoink. Woo. Oh, his name is I'm a Fun Guy. I love it.
You ain't getting me, Phantom.
He did.
One of them. Gosh, I have like no stamina. This is
Ah. Oh, good turn. Good turn. You got this, dude. Come on. Nice. Good invis. Good invis. Where are you at? Ah, there you are.
Oh, I just sent my. Oh, never mind.
He did.
He extra did. Yeah, go for the shield. Dig for you. Get baited. Baited. Hang over that shield. I dare you.
Did you see that? That was a blast. That it was hard to see because he only used it once and he shot it at him. There it goes. That was another one. He didn't detonate it early enough, but you can see the range for it anyways. And you see that little shining shield on this person? That means his rage is charged. With Windguards, you see it all the time because they have to use it on a different person. So it lets you know that they can do that. And you typically want to stop them before they do that. So wait, what's the giveaway giving? I zoned out during a match and suddenly one was occurring. The giveaway is for a Lone Roar pack. It is rated at $80 MSRP.
How's Ash Crow?
$80 US, and it brings 3 legendary dragons, an assortment of armors, and 3,000 gems. Lots of goodies to get you started on your sentry game. There we go. He used his rage, so now we got a
But you
berserker.
stole my kill out there. I'm just kidding.
You stole all my kills.
No, I didn't. Heresy! No, I did not. I got heresy.
Get back here. I see you.
I call
I see you. Got him.
Professional, I dare you. You won't. Debating people is fun.
You enjoying those Mindsmith riffs?
Debated. Mostly on this map because they just are so oblivious. It's so funny.
I should probably touch base on mines before
Oh.
finishing up.
Mine.
I know I said there wasn't a lot to cover there, but I'm starting to think there's something to cover there.
The only thing really to cover is that they're kind of broken.
You stole every single kill.
I did not. How dare you?
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. Why is everybody assuming it's stupid? No, I missed. Whee! Ooh! That phantom wants my booty. I don't appreciate.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal my word. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna throw mines at him.
The truth out you're like an
You
evil
hit
criminal.
my mine. Come here, now you're gonna die.
Oh,
Come
he's
here.
a little
Where you
guy.
go? Where you go? Come here. Oh, bruh.
Huh.
Oh, daddy. Yeah, take the air, but you won't. Hee hee.
Except they will.
Yeah, slap directly into a mine. Owie. Well, that wasn't nice. Where'd you go? I mean, you came back for throwing a mine at me. Not a mine, a blast at me. I'm ready to do my mine anyway. He slipped into a mine.
We're being so cruel.
Alright. Solid match. And now, it is time for the drawing. The drawing. Yay. So remember, if you're taking part of the giveaway,
Yeah,
it
I'm
is,
so sorry.
it
Oh, wait,
is
let's never mind.
hashtag prelude.
Screw, I'm so sorry.
Wait, what?
You had 15 assists.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
Alright, drum roll, please. And the winner is... Lost
Winner is-
Oasis.
Shit!
Dimitri, oh my god.
Oh, let's go!
Please type in chat for me.
I am here. Oh my god, this is like my 6th giveaway I've been in.
It's rigged.
Congratulations, Cynthia, for winning.
Rigged.
Yeah, this is not. Get out of here. Rigged. Get out of here.
Awesome. Alright, I will be
Awesome.
sending your key after this. But if you want to be a part of more giveaways, both on stream or Discord or wherever, make sure to join my Discord so you keep track of everything that's going on. You can also follow me on Twitter. I announced some giveaways there. I actually do have an active giveaway going on right there right now if you want to win a really cool character creator deck. We will be having more giveaways in the coming weeks up to season 1 and beyond, with season 1 having a very special giveaway to commemorate its release. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching this evening. I hope these tips help you become a better Dragoneer, enjoy the game a little more, and explore some of the nuances of the game for you. If you would like to get more tips or see me do different kinds of gameplay in quick play or in another favorite mode, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, you can check out some of my gameplay with different classes on my YouTube channel where I store a lot of these Twitch streams, or on my Twitch up to 14 days. In any case, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!